Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Tortuga 40L travel backpack. And I've been a big fan of Tortuga's Outbreaker travel bag for many years now. I've featured it in multiple videos and it's one of the most comfortable travel bags that I've tested out. So I was following along very closely when Tortuga started to release early sketches and designs of their new travel bag on their Instagram stories, and the bag is finally here and I'm super excited to have had a chance to test it out over the past week or so. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my experience using it. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features. I'll talk about some of the differences with the Outbreaker backpack, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the bag, the overall aesthetic has been updated. Tortuga really took user feedback into account when designing this bag. One of the pieces of feedback they received was that the Outbreaker backpacks were too boxy. That wasn't something that really bothered me about their design. I kind of like that aesthetic, but Tortuga designed this to be a little bit more rounded and sleek. But overall, it's a really versatile look that I think is going to work well regardless of what environment you're going to be traveling in, and I like that it's subdued enough that it's not really going to draw a lot of attention to you while you're on your trip. As far as the materials, the bag feels very solidly built. Tortuga is using a newer fabric here called 200 Shell, which looks and feels pretty similar to the VX21 sailcloth that they used on their previous bag, but it has been updated to use a polyester base as opposed to a nylon base, which is going to make it a little bit lighter, more rugged. It's also recycled, and it's still going to provide a ton of weather resistance. So to me, it doesn't feel super different. I think this is a solid improvement. The Outbreaker is a bag that has survived many years with me, so I'll be curious to kind of put this one to its paces over the next few years. But it feels really solid just during my initial testing period here. Beyond that, the bag also uses Woojin buckles and aqua-guarded YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the outside of the bag, you have two external water bottle pockets that offer a pretty decent amount of space. These have been updated from the kind of mesh water bottle pockets that were on the Outbreaker. They have a nice amount of elasticity. I was able to fit the same 20-ounce water bottle that I typically use very comfortably. I was also able to squeeze in a 26-ounce Yeti Rambler. That was a little bit tighter. Anything bigger than that I think would start to, be a little bit tight and potentially damage the compartment or maybe not even fit at all. And then I like that because the compartments have that elasticity, they're gonna hug the bag nicely when they're not in use. And then you have a side handle and top handle that have plenty of padding, so they're really comfortable to hold. Even when the bag is a little bit more packed out, they also feel really durable, so they're gonna be great for placing this into an overhead storage compartment. On the front, there's not a ton going on. You do have Tortuga's blacked out logo here, so it's pretty subtle, it blends in. I like that it's not very prominent. Moving into the size, as the name states, the bag comes in at about 40 liters, which is a really great size for longer term one bag travel in my opinion. Gives you a little bit more capacity, particularly if you're newer to one bag traveling, you need some extra flexibility or you want some space to carry some souvenirs. So I was easily able to pack this out how I normally would for a 1 to 2 week trip. Was able to hold a ton of stuff. And I like that even though it is a little bit of a larger capacity, it never felt so overwhelmingly big that it would be uncomfortable to take onto public transit or for exploring a city and carrying onto a variety of domestic and international airlines. Taking a look at the straps and the back paneling, this is another area that has been updated from the Outbreaker and Setout line of bags. Tortuga's harnesses have been some of my favorite over the past couple of years, so I was curious to see if this bag would maintain that same level of comfort. And overall, the bag has been really comfortable to wear. It still has, really well padded, comfortable straps. They also have a nice breathability on the inside. They have this kind of meshy fabric that's gonna help prevent moisture from building up. They also have a nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. At the top, you have load lifters that are going to allow you to adjust how the bag sits on your back and also pull the weight closer when it's a little bit more packed out. And then one of the areas where Tortuga's bags are unique is in their ability to adjust the harness system's height to match up with your particular height. So it's great to kind of be able to fit the bag to meet your particular needs. The system here is a little bit different than it was on the Outbreaker. That one had kind of a rail and flap system, which worked well. But this system is meant to be a little bit more simplistic, so you just open the Velcro up and then you can slide the harness up and down. I'm still curious to see how that Velcro will feel with a heavier bag over a longer period of time, if there's ever a chance that it'll start sliding. The rail system felt very secure. So far I haven't had any issues, but I'll be keeping a close eye on it. And with the change, it is much easier to adjust the harness when you need to. On the back paneling, you have the same sort of padding that we saw on the straps, so very comfortable, distributed all throughout. It's got the same mesh on it as well, so very breathable. And you also have this large air channel here that's gonna provide ventilation and airflow while you're wearing the pack over a longer period of time. And then on the bottom, you have attachment points that compare with the included waist belt. Tortuga's waist belts are always well padded and well integrated into the bag, so if you want to use it, you can just attach them with the Velcro straps. The straps themselves have a nice amount of padding. They have a pocket, which is great for any items that you need to grab a little bit more quickly while you're traveling. And because you can adjust the height of the harness system, that can work very well with the waist belt, so that the weight is actually getting distributed to your hips and not all resting on your shoulder. But then my favorite part, as somebody who doesn't use waist belts a ton, is that you can fully remove it. You don't have to worry about tucking it away anywhere. So really like the flexibility that's been provided there, and the fact that the waist belt is included with the bag. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag has a nice variety of pockets all throughout. I really like some of the changes that Tortuga has made here. It just kind of simplifies things and makes some of the pockets more usable, in my opinion. So starting off on the front, you have a quick access pocket with a vertically oriented zipper, which is always nice for swinging the bag around and grabbing something easily. And this is a pretty tall compartment, and it also has a surprising amount of volume. These tend to be a little bit flatter, so I like that it came up a little bit so that I could store some larger items that I reach for a little bit more during the day. So I have a little tin with bandage and ointment. I have my GoPro. I also tossed in my Tom Bin Ghostwell pouch that has some of the tech and EDC accessories that I typically use. And then I also have a full-size moleskin notebook. At the top of the bag, you have a slightly smaller but conveniently located quick access pocket. This is one of the pockets that I tend to use the most during my trips, and I like that this has enough space to hold the items that I would typically store in this type of pocket. So jumping in, I have a pair of sunglasses, and then I have my AirPods and a lightning cable to charge my phone. And also in this compartment, you have a little lanyard with a plastic clip that's gonna be a great spot to hold something like your keys or a multi-tool. The next area we're going to be taking a look at is a larger admin style compartment that has some internal organization. There was a similar compartment on the Outbreaker backpacks. The layout has been updated a bit. The first thing I'll call out before diving in is that this, as well as the main compartment and the laptop compartment, are actually lockable zippers, which is always great to see in a travel backpack to give you just an extra bit of peace of mind. And so the zippers on this compartment feel like they go down a little bit further than they did on the Outbreaker. It's still not a clamshell style compartment, but you do have a little more visibility and access to the bottom of the compartment, which is nice because it does span the full height of the bag, which is gonna make it great for holding larger items that you wanna reach a little bit more regularly. So this could be your toiletries, maybe some gloves, a hat, a jacket. In my case, when I actually stored here, because I have some extra space, I don't always travel with this, but this is a collapsible laundry basket from Nomadic, just to kind of showcase the height and the volume that's provided there. And then I also have my Matador Nano Dry shower towel. Going up along the back, the organization has been simplified a bit. You have one larger zippered compartment here that's going to be great for holding any accessories that you don't want floating down into the bottom of the pocket. So at the moment, what I have here is my Apple Magic Mouse. Then I have a deck of playing cards, and I also have a little fork and spoon carabiner that I like to toss into my bags. So really nice, simple compartment there. I like that it's not so low that it's hard to access the zipper. And then along the back, you have some more kind of slots and slip pockets. Starting off here, you have a larger elastic slip pocket. I really like that this kind of just molds around the items that you place on the inside. At the moment, I just have an external battery that I use to charge my phone when it's running low. Next to that, you have a few slots that are going to be good for something like a stylus or a pen. I currently have my Ridge Bolt Action pen in there. And then on the other side, you have some really small slots that are going to be a good spot for maybe some IDs, business cards. I do wish they had maybe been a little bit deeper. As you can see, I have my Peak Design mobile tripod here, and it doesn't really go down super low. It does hold it in place. It makes it easy for me to grab, but it could slip out. So those can be a little limiting to use, especially if you don't tend to carry something like business cards. And behind that, you also have a fleece line and slightly padded sleeve. That's gonna be a great spot to hold something like a Kindle or an iPad that you wanna grab a little bit more quickly. And then on the back of the bag, you have kind of the tech and laptop area. This has been updated from the Outbreaker to no longer open up fully flat, which is, tends to be called kind of a travel ready laptop sort of style. But, if you've traveled a lot, you've probably seen that you still have to remove your laptop from your backpack and place it separately into a bin while it's going through security. So that layout doesn't really work out as well. So good to see Tortuga just kind of taking a simpler approach here. You can still have plenty of visibility into the compartment to grab what you need, but don't have to worry about the zippers opening up all the way. Before taking a look at the laptop compartment, you do have kind of a mesh zippered compartment here, which is always a great area to store kind of the charger, cable and brick, or maybe an additional mouse, portable hard drive, just any of the tech items that you want to have easily kind of like next to your laptop. So nice to see that there, offers enough volume to be usable. And then you have dedicated tablet and laptop sleeves on the back. These offer a nice fleece lining and a decent amount of padding. The tablet sleeve was able to hold my iPad mini comfortably. Should also be able to hold probably a 10 or 11 inch tablet. I did notice that this started to get pretty tight when I packed out the main area, particularly with the tablet. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. And then the laptop sleeve is also well padded, fleece lined on both sides, so it's going to help prevent against scratching. These are suspended off the bottom of the ground, so you're going to have peace of mind when you place your bag down a little bit harder. They have a Velcro strap to help keep your devices in place. And then it's going to be able to hold up to a 15 or 16 inch laptop pretty comfortably. Currently what I have in here is my 13 inch MacBook Pro. You can see there's some leftover space. So pulling the device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. You can see that soft fleece lining. This does come up a decent amount, but as mentioned, this compartment is a little bit tighter than I would have expected. So if you have a thick device, it might get a little bit tricky to use a tablet in the sleeve on the front, or if you have a case, it might start to just feel a little bit difficult to get it in and out. But with the devices that I typically carry, I didn't notice any issues, and because of the padding that's included here and the fact that it's suspended, it really felt like my device is going to be well protected while I'm on my trip. The last area that we're going to be taking a look at is the main compartment, and like the Outbreaker and Setout travel backpacks, this has a suitcase style opening, so it has a zipper that goes around and allows you to open it up fully flat so that you can easily see everything that you're packing. This makes organization very easy. And then you have this large main compartment that was able to hold a ton of stuff. Very great for modular packing if you use packing cubes to keep all of your stuff kind of in its place. I was able to, fit the ones that I typically use. So diving in, I currently have a pair of Toms at the top, just kind of sitting there. And then I have my Air Dop kit and the Peak Design compression packing cubes that I've been testing out recently. They were able to fit in here absolutely perfect and still, had some leftover space. It didn't feel like the bag was overly packed out. And Tortuga has actually released their own packing cubes that are meant to pair with this backpack, and I was able to test those out. I thought they were really solid packing cubes, well made. I like that they had sort of the mesh door so that you could see on the inside. They don't have any compression, as I've grown accustomed to with the Peak Design cubes, or kind of a separate compartment for dirty clothes, but they are meant to fit perfectly into the compartment. I think they worked very well. If you don't have a packing cube system that you're already used to, I think those are great to check out if you want to kind of keep it all in the same ecosystem and know that it's going to work well together. And I like the simplicity of this main area. Whether you use packing cubes or not, I feel like this is the type of thing that will always allow you to pack the most stuff. I like that it doesn't have compression straps or any sort of complications. They've also removed some of the internal mesh zippered pockets that used to be on the side of the Outbreaker. So I think that makes a lot of sense, as I didn't tend to use those that much. And then on the other side, you have a separate mesh, larger zippered compartment. And I like that this area has a pretty good amount of volume. It's gonna give you some flexibility with what you can store if you wanna place jackets, shirts. In my case, I actually use this to store a packable backpack. Since this is a little bit of a larger bag, It's great to have something that you can take out of the bag when you arrive at your destination and use for walking around your day-to-day. This is the Outbreaker packable backpack, which is still one of the best that's on the market. Super comfortable. I've had it for many years and it has held up great. But the compartment itself, plenty of volume, again, for other things that you want to separate from the main area, and very simple as well. No additional organization here, compression straps, just a simple sort of mesh zipper divider. So I think that this layout works really well. I love the simplicity, the space that's offered here, and just the thoughtfulness throughout the rest of the bag. I think that the updates that have been made make a lot of sense, and if you're looking for a spacious, durable, and comfortable travel bag that's gonna offer a ton of weather resistance, then this is gonna be a fantastic option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the new Tortuga 40-liter travel backpack. You can currently purchase this on the company site for about $350, so it definitely is a big investment. This is a larger travel bag that's packed with a lot of features. It's solidly built, so you're getting a lot for the money that you're investing. There's also, however, going to be some other great bags in this price range that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the Air Travel Pack 3. Air's travel backpacks have been some of my go-tos over the past couple of years. I really love the organizational layout and the aesthetics of their bags. They're comfortable to wear, they're solidly built. The size range of the 35-liter Air Travel Pack 3 in particular is one of my favorites for when I'm doing a longer trip, as it's a size that's very comfortable for carrying onto a number of international and domestic airlines. I've never run into any issues. I really love the different options that it has for organizing all of your tech. Good laptop protection like this one here. The harness system isn't gonna be quite as adjustable or robust, but it's still pretty comfortable overall. So if you're interested in a bag that has, a very modern, sleek vibe, and that's gonna come in at a slightly smaller size range at 35 liters, and that's gonna be a great option to consider. The next bag this made me think of is the Osprey Farpoint 40, which is one of the most well-known travel backpacks in the industry. Anywhere that you travel, chances are that you're gonna see a bunch of Farpoint 40s, as Osprey is very well known for making reliable travel backpacks, high quality. They come in at slightly lower price points than this. Comfortable harness system with an integrated waist belt, plenty of space. I like the organizational layout and the laptop protection on this bag a bit more, and this is also a much kind of more sleek and modern looking bag. But if you're just starting out and you want to save a little bit of money and need something reliable, then the Osprey Farpoint 40 may be a good option to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the Evergood CTB35, which is a really rugged travel backpack that has an excellent organizational layout. That's something that Evergood is very well known for in their daily bags. And when they came out with their CTB35, they kind of brought that over. The pocketing system is very easy to use. Everything has kind of its own independent volume. It's got a comfortable harness system with a breathable back panel. I don't think the harness is quite as comfortable as this bag here, and I don't like that the waist belt on that one is integrated, so you can't fully remove it like you can with the Outbreaker, but still just a very well-built bag, 35 liters, so it can hold a lot and be carry-on compliant pretty much anywhere that you want to take it. And so just a really solid option if you're looking for something with a more subdued vibe that's still going to be durable and versatile. That's going to be one of the best options you can check out. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the GR2, in particular the 40-liter Slick Edition that I featured pretty recently, which they did as a collaboration with Huckberry. It's a pretty similarly sized bag, so they were able to hold a ton of stuff while being carry-on compliant. I really like the organizational layout on the GR2, particularly the dual clamshell compartments that it has makes organizing just really easy. Other than that, it just has a lot of pockets all throughout. The main compartment with its simple layout can really hold a ton of stuff. It's a comfortable bag to wear, particularly under heavier weight. Not quite as comfortable as the Tortuga backpack in my opinion, but the Cordura fabric is going to offer maybe a little bit more peace of mind if you're tossing your bag around in a really rough and tumble environment. The fabric on the Outbreaker is durable and it's going to offer maybe a little bit more weather resistance, but there's just something about that 1000D Cordura that feels really indestructible. So just a very durable bag. It is pretty heavy and it comes in at a higher price point, but if you're looking for something super reliable that's also going to have a really minimal and versatile aesthetic, then that's going to be a great option to take a look at. With that being said, the Tortuga 40-liter travel backpack holds up really well against all those options, and if you're looking for a spacious, weather-resistant, and very comfortable travel backpack, this is going to be one of the best options that you can check out. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the updates that Tortuga has made on their travel backpack and how it compares to some of the other popular travel bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Tortuga again for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.